Hey there, welcome back to my Star Wars Edge of the Empire solitaire campaign. I've mostly been just recording this just kind of for myself. Yeah, I put it on YouTube, but I mean, I'm definitely not promoting this. I'm not really editing it. I'm not really doing much of anything. But it's been just about 2 months since I had a session, so shortly after the last session, I was evacuated due to wildfires. The evacuation had kind of actually happened on the Saturday, and I think I recorded the last episode on the Sunday, and things kind of turned really, really bad in town, and early Monday morning we were on a Hercules heading for Fort McMurray, where we were for 5 weeks, and it's only kind of now I'm finally getting to the point where I feel like I'd like to kind of get back to this. So I'm not going to I keep trying to keep this video up on top, but I'm not going to worry so much about that this time. We're going to kind of pop into Roll20 here. I'm actually just going to kind of zoom in a little bit. So I've kind of been doing a little bit of work these last couple of days, just trying to prep, trying to figure out kind of where I want things to go, kind of how things are going so far. So I created a little, kind of like a major NPCs list over here that I've just kind of been filling out a little bit. Kay, of course, is our Ewok sidekick, Jax Kellen being the my character here, a smuggler, scoundrel type who is the captain of the Driftwood. Kay is a sidekick he picked up a little while ago. They don't really communicate so well, but Kay's kind of latched onto him, and he's become quite fond of her. Gruck is a Trandoshan crime lord out there who Jax owes a lot of money to, a lot of credits. I believe it's 50,000 credits. Lauren Voss is a Twi'lek bartender at the Black Nova Cantina in Hutted Town on Nar Shaddaa, which is where the campaign has started, and we have yet to leave. We're heading towards that. Vex-On is the Rhodian proprietor of Gundark's Gear Emporium, kind of a place to go for CD types, especially to pick up whatever they might need. And Zurich Brask is a Lasat quote-unquote executive assistant who's really the bodyguard for Vex. Zurich actually likes Jax, which kind of worked out in his favor, and that's how the original concept of the Nar Shaddaa job was Jax was answering kind of a call that there was work to be had. Go speak with Lauren Voss at the Black Nova Cantina. Try to find out kind of who was basically kind of make the contact there to get the job. And Lauren Voss hates Jax and absolutely refused to deal with him. That's kind of where Mythic gets kind of fun sometimes, I guess. And that was it. It took a complete left turn. Jax was completely broke upon landing on Nar Shaddaa. He kind of spent his last few credits just on a portable air tank so that he can kind of breathe better. It's the outside of this moon in Hutt space is really polluted and nasty. So most people will try to not breathe in the air as is. Couple of other character names that have come up. Thalos Vexar, who we haven't met yet, is a Zabrak Imperial buyer. Jax now has a job. He doesn't know that he's carrying a footlocker-sized, metal crate of kyber crystals, and that's what he's actually going to be smuggling. But Thalos is the buyer on Tatooine. That's where Jax is supposed to take this. And finally, the last session we were introduced to Cade Marlowe. So Cade's an older human smuggler thief type, and he's a rival of Jax's. I've actually created an image for him using Midjourney. So he's on par. He essentially, in terms of Edge of the Empire stats, he is a rival, and he is on par with Jax. So one of these days I'll kind of get around to filling out his character sheet. But something that happened last time is Jax barely got away with his life. I honestly thought the campaign was about to kind of come to an end or something with Jax getting blasted down in the streets. But he had, if we kind of flip over to his character sheet here, Jax had taken 11 wounds before he knocked Cade out of the out of the battle by reducing, by basically kind of pushing his threshold. So Cade is currently lying unconscious in the street as Jax starts to collect his freight. He drops his blaster pistol into the holster on his side, nursing his injuries, putting his hand on his shoulder where he got shot before he dove behind a land speeder. He kind of picks himself up. He kind of takes a look over at Cade. I mean, cold-blooded murder, I don't think, is in Jax's character. He could go put a coup de grace on this guy, but that's not really what he's into. And he kind of looks around, and yeah, there's a bunch of people kind of just off in the shadows, catching a glimpse of the fight, seeing what's going on. Jack kind of stretches, reaches into his jacket for his portable communicator. Beep, hits that. Beep. Okay, I'm coming back to the ship. I've had some issues. Check to see if there's any med packs. I need a stimmer too. So Jack slips the communicator back into his jacket, pulls himself to his feet. Goes over to Cade. Kicks Cade's blaster away. Like, doesn't want him, just in case he's faking it, doesn't want him picking that thing up and coming in shooting again. Jack's pretty sure if he gets shot again, he's gonna need an infirmary in a big way. But we'll try to kind of start there. But I don't think it's. I'm not entirely sure what I did at the end of the last session here. It looks like I might have made a Destiny pool roll, or I might have simply just kind of copy-pasted up here the Destiny pool roll in terms of where it is there. I think I'm going to start things off clean. I'm also just going to update this. Today is Thanksgiving here in Canada, Monday, October 9th. And I'm going to take the one die here. Sorry, I'm going to kind of throw myself back into the zooming here. So I'm going to take one die, and I'm just going to roll for it. See kind of what our Destiny pool is made out of. I'm starting to wonder if things continue, and I'm wondering whether I should roll two, one for Jax, one for Kay. But for now, Kay's mostly just kind of window dressing. Mostly stays on the ship. If she starts getting more involved as a hero of the story, I think I'll add a force die in. But for now, let's roll this. 2 light side. All right, well, that's going to kind of improve things a little bit here. It's a good way to start. And once again, things have just kind of gotten going. So Cade picks up after kicking Jax, I should say, after kicking Cade's blaster pistol down the sidewalk, well out of Cade's reach. He looks down at Cade one last time, winces a little bit, and walks over to where he dropped that Foot Locker size box, picks it up, kind of cringes in pain a little bit, and limps his way back to the driftwood, his ship. Now, I suppose the next scene I've kind of got in mind, I'm just going to bring up my sheets here. That's our adventure journal here, our threads. So, back on the back, I'm kind of seeing the next scene is back on the driftwood, Jack's in need of healing, and starting to wonder that this cargo is a lot hotter than he expected it to be. So, we're going to kind of go for there. I do not want to interrupt, but we can do things properly. Chaos factor is currently at 6. I'm just going to pop back to here again. So I've just kind of shifted everything to the second page. This is scene number 5 we're going into. Chaos factor is 6. So let's see here. 2. 2 is going to be a problem. So I'm just going to go to my Mythic. I'm still kind of figuring out Mythic as I go along here. So when we're dealing with scenes, testing the scene, chaos factor or less, things are going to change. So I rolled a 2. If it was odd, it'd be an altered scene. If it's even, it's going to be an interrupt scene. So, not what I wanted. I really probably should have just went, nope, he makes it back to the ship. But we're going to shift that. Interrupt scene. Alright, that's fine. So let's see here. Meaning tables. Let's go take a look here. Is there a particular table here that I should be using for an interrupt scene? Alright, well, let's see here. Alright, let's just use kind of the standard descriptors here. Meaning tables actions, meaning tables descriptions. Let's see here. What's usually the best way to kind of deal with an interrupt scene? Let's see here. What does Mythic say about interrupt scenes? Is there a table of contents and index in here? Well, of course not. All right. Fake questions, random events. Scenes, interrupt scene, 72. Okay, interrupt scenes. So, altered scenes play off your expectations, so, you know, something would continue kind of as is, but there would be a modification to it. Whereas interrupt scenes, ignore them entirely and anything can happen. Alright. These can kind of completely derail things. Alright, so, example of a change scene. Expect this scene here, interrupt scene. Okay, so how do event focus table. There we go. So that's a good idea. Where's the event focus table? So the random event focus table. So here we go. So it is an interrupt scene. Oops, sorry, I need to roll both of these for a percentile. 60 even. Move away from a thread. We only have 2 threads that they'll go in at the moment. I'll roll a d10. I will say 1 to 5. Actually, no, I can roll a d4 on this, can't I? Let's just do that, because that kind of sums up what we got here. So, move away from a thread. 4. Deliver goods to Tatooine. That's not good at all, because that means we're going to kind of make things difficult for getting those goods delivered to Tatooine. So what happens? Okay. Interrupt scene. Move away from thread. Deliver goods. I just like my notes here. Alright, so I'm going to move away from that scene. So we're going to move away from that thread. That's not good. So things can kind of get tricky here. So let's kind of roll. We'll use the action tables here to kind of make up our minds as to what's going on. So, first roll here is 33. Destroy. Here, I might as well turn the camera on while I'm kind of doing all this, right? So, 33 for destroy. Second table, 95. Destroy victory. Shit. Destroy victory. Alright. Destroy victory. So Jax just had a victory. Just had a victory. Just barely had a victory. Just pulled victory out of the jaws of defeat. Things look bad. I mean, again, he's taken 11 points of damage, you know, kind of wounds, right? He's been hurt bad. Destroying the victory. So maybe things didn't quite, work out as well as Jax thought. So here we go. Or maybe there's something else at play here. So Cade, he's been shot, he's been wounded, whatever. We're going to come back to Cade in just a second because I actually want to kind of find out what happens to Cade. Well, here we go. Jax doesn't pick up the crate at all. When he turns to pick it up, after kind of kicking Cade's blaster away, he finds that in the scuffle of it all, somebody's picked it up and left with it. They've stolen it right in the midst of a blaster battle between Cade and Jax. So there we go. There's our interrupt scene. Jax curses again. Just the luck is so much against him, and if he loses this, Vex is not going to be happy, and he's going to owe Vex a lot of money. So let's kind of make some updates here. Just going to make a few notes here. The cargo. No, now. All right, let's find out something here because Jax is just mortified. Jax has taken whatever that cargo is. Jax knows he's probably not being paid enough for it because he was offered 7,000 credits and it just about cost him his life. Jax is injured. He can't go on looking for another fight at the moment. That would be a really bad idea. So instead, this interrupt scene is going to kind of... So again, that whole moving away from the threat of deliver the goods. He no longer has the damn goods. The goods are gone. That's messed up, man. Jax is screwed. He's gonna end up with an obligation with Vex. Vex is gonna put a goddamn bounty on his head or something. At the very least, he's gonna owe a hell of a lot of money. Jax doesn't know it, but again, that crate is filled with kyber crystals valued at about 20,000 galactic credits. It's a footlocker-sized credit. The kyber crystals are rare. The Empire's pretty much outlawed them. They're really expensive. 20,000 credits with a buyer on Tatooine who we kind of determined is an Imperial, but I don't think Jax would actually know that. Okay, let's deal with Cade for a second because Cade got rather seriously injured. So Cade is we need to roll on the critical injury table for Cade because he's not just a mook. He's a rival. So we're going to roll on the critical injury table here. So this is his first critical injury. So it's just a straight roll, I believe. I think as you have critical injuries, then you start adding 10s. For each critical injury, you're adding 10. So we're just going to roll 68. Alright, that's not really going to do much. It's an average one here. Scattered senses. We're just going to put 68 here. Scattered senses. So, thing is, critical injury, even though, basically the way this reads is scattered senses, the target removes all blue dice from skill checks until the end of the encounter. The encounter is already over. Yeah, the encounter is already over, so that doesn't really matter here. Maybe I'm doing critical injuries wrong, or maybe I'm doing wounds slightly wrong. I'll have to kind of look into that. So Jax now absolutely furious, injured. His shoulder hurts. He just radioed back to Kay saying he's coming back and he needs medical assistance. And there's now no cargo. Now Jax took I'm just gonna check something. Jax credit log. So Jax took an advance of 1,250 galactic credits. Okay, so he's taken an advance. This is now kind of becoming a bit of an issue. I believe, yeah, he should have a couple of stim packs on it, but they're probably on the ship. Come back over to equipment here. 2 stim packs back on the ship. All right. So Jax is now furious. Maybe Cade had something to do with this. So Jax, I bought this thing specifically for this. Draws his pistol. Takes it right over to Cade. Reaches down, kind of kneels over Cade, grabs him by the collar, holds him up, puts that blaster pistol right under his chin. Wake up, you son of a bitch! Does Cade wake up? Let's see here. We got a Chaos Factor 6 kind of going on. Let me just get to the fate questions here. Our fate chart. I'm going to bring this up here. Does Cade wake up? I'm just going to call it 50-50. We're on a Chaos Factor of 6. 65. 65 is exactly... any more than that, there was a no. So Jax kind of holds him, pushes that barrel right into Cade's, into Cade's jawline really hard, leaving an indentation. Wake up, you son of a bitch! And Cade starts to come through. Damn. Jax looks at him. Damn right, damn it. Where's my cargo? And Cade's looking up, going, he's trying to get some sense as to where he is. So Jax just just smacks him in the head, with the blaster pistol. Shakes him again. Where is it? Okay, so here's a question: does Cade have allies who took it? Is it? I'm thinking. I'm just thinking that seems fairly likely. Like, they swooped in, but he doesn't play well with others, does he? Though, he could have hired some. He could have hired kids. He could have hired anything. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to say it's likely that Cade has got some friends here. Likely, so 75 or under. 36 is a definite, is a yes. So I'm going to make a note there. Finds out. I'm going to go with that. Cade hired a couple of street kids to steal it. During the fight. So there you go. So he knew, Jax would have to drop it to fight. And Jax is the type probably to draw, and fight. So Cade played his ass. All right, well, this is good to know. So we're going to kind of shift here. I'm going to kind of come back here. I'm just going to hold on to this one because it could end up as scene 5. Streets of Hutta Town. Looking for Cade's little hirelings. So that's kind of where we are with this scene now, I think. That seemed really likely to me. That's what I like. We're going to kind of just go with that. So yeah, so you're going to have to forgive my, if you're actually watching this, my typing while I'm kind of just doing this is really quick. I was a journalist for 20 years, and I can type a lot faster than I really should be too sometimes, and it's just really quick, and I don't care as much about spelling properly when I'm kind of in a rush. Alright, so Cade kind of comes through, he's like, no, it's like, yeah, with me, don't shoot, oh, again, Cade's hurt. Cade is very much hurt, actually. Where are they? I don't know. Do we have an interrogation kind of role in this game? Coercion, resilience, negotiation. Not really that, is it? Coercion might be the best one here. So we're gonna I'm gonna roll. We're gonna roll the two green here that go with my coercion skill, plus 1 purple. Cade's hurt. He's probably not looking to. He's probably not looking to kind of fight too much right now because he might just end up with a blaster bolt through his brain. We're going to end up with even with 1. Oh, interesting. With 1. Sorry, I always forget the term that I'm actually looking for here. I need to kind of get back into it. Sorry, with 1 triumph. Triumph? Sorry, 1 advantage. 1 advantage. So it's not a success, but Cade isn't really looking to argue too much, but he's not really looking to give up the cargo either. The advantage, we can spend that advantage on, well, Jax kind of pushes that blaster pistol again. Again, takes the blaster, kind of pushes it harder into Cade's jawline here. Once again, demanding, where'd they go? As Cade's explaining that, yeah, he's got two little brats that he gave 50 credits to just kind of grab the cargo and run with. So he's not really intimidating. He's intimidating, I suppose, to a certain extent, but he's not really. Jax is not on the ball. He's mad. He's very angry. He's kind of losing it a little bit. He knows how much trouble he's going to be. What can we do with that victory point? Is there something we could spend that victory point on? What would make the most sense? We can upgrade an allied character next check. So let's say he kind of upgrades the next check, because he's holding Cade down hostage now. He actually drags Cade to his feet. Let's go. Puts the barrel of the gun now, puts the barrel of the blaster down to the back of his head. Cade kind of takes one glance down, looking for his own blaster. Kind of drops one hand to his holster, and Jax just slaps him in the back of the head. Don't even think about it. You got any more guns on you? You got any more blasters on you? Does he? Does Cade have another blaster on him? I'm gonna say it's likely. 64. Yes, he does. And yeah. It's like. And Jax just, again, with the blaster. I will end you right here. Give me the blaster. Where is it? Left boot. Left boot. Jax kind of steps back just a touch. Keeping that blaster up. And he looks down, and yeah, there's a little bit of a... Look. You can see that there's a little bit of a bulge there in the boot. All right, Cade, come on, Marlowe, take it out, throw it on the ground. Does he manage to do this? What is this here? Leadership? I'm thinking we're talking coercion again. I'm not sure if I'm using this quite right here, but that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to roll the same thing. The 2 green for his coercion, plus 1 purple die. Alright, this time it's 4 successes. Cade believes Jax is going to blast him. Cade slowly kind of drops. pulls up the pant leg, and Jax can see that, yeah, tucked into the boot is a little holdout blaster. So Cade reaches in with just, finger and thumb. And as he kind of reaches for it, Jax puts the barrel of the blaster, again, right up against the back of his head. Says, "You do anything whatsoever to try to shoot me or to try to run, it's going to end badly for you, Marlowe." He goes, yeah, I heard you the first time. And with thumb and finger, he takes the holdout blaster, kind of yanks it a little bit out. And Jax kind of looks at you. "Toss it now." And Marlowe just kind of flicks it off to the right, and it kind of clatters into the street, or clatters onto the sidewalk a little ways from him. All right, up, right now, up. And Cade stands again. He's kind of putting the hands back up, and Jax goes, "All right, we're gonna go pay a little visit to your buddies. All right, drop the hands." Cade puts his hands down. I kind of like this. This is a nice prop. I really need to get some better background area so that things aren't always blurring out whenever I kind of move. But Jax kind of keeps a close eye on him. I know this is actually a sight, but he doesn't even need the sight at this range. He's not even worried about that. It's a blaster pistol, right? It's just a good-sized blaster pistol, as many of them are in Star Wars. So Cade's now going to kind of take him through the streets of Huttatown to go meet with the two street kids that he paid to grab the box. And as he's walking, Cade's going. He's not keeping his hands up, but he's not, he's keeping them away kind of from his sides or whatever. He doesn't want to give Jax any reason to shoot. Jax is kind of relaxed a little bit and he's holstered the blaster as they're walking, but he's walking behind Cade. I can't remember, is Cade or is he a quick draw? Where's my talent tree? No, convincing demeanor. Then he's got a black market contacts, of course. So that's kind of it there. No, he does not have a quick draw. So Jax would not really be known as a quick draw. That's not one of the skills that not one of the talents he's picked up. But at the same time, Cade's probably not going to test this. Cade's got no weapons now on him at all. No blasters anyway. Maybe he's got a knife on him or something. Jax didn't look. Marching through Huttatown, Jax is kind of keeping an eye, but he's got that blaster holstered, but his hands just kind of resting right on it. Eh? So they're walking through Huttatown. Cade's kind of going, "You gonna kill me, Jax?" Jax going, Do I have to kill you? I'd rather not. There's you shot me up pretty good though. Kind of reaches, he kind of feels that this whole area right here where he got blasted was all singed from the blaster bolt, and below he could feel where the skin's been cauterized by the blaster bolt, and it still stings. He's still hurt. He's not in good shape. So as they continue walking, Cade's going, "It's this way." Jack's going, "So what was the plan? Meet up with them afterwards?" "Yeah, we got a spot. It's just a little cafe." "All right, that's where we're going. All right, what's the name of the cafe?" Doesn't really matter. We're not even going to bother with that. Or I suppose I could pull up the AI, but let's do that anyway here. Actually, now let's not bother. Don't care what the name of the cafe is. It's Ruth's Coffee for all I care. Ruth's Java Juice, Java Juice? Is that doesn't matter. It's a shop for hot beverages where people go in the middle of the night, especially for seedy dealings, which is pretty much what Hutatan is famous for anyway. Nar Shaddaa is just like this whole smuggler and bounty hunter paradise almost. Paradise might be pushing it, but as they're walking along, you know what? I think Cade's going to try to reason with Jax a little bit. Jax, you know, it's nothing personal, right? Yeah, it's personal. Anything with you is personal. You don't like me, I don't like you. Let's get going. No, I mean, you know what you're moving, right? Do I look like this is my first job? No, I didn't look at the cargo. In this case, Jax, you probably really should have. I heard what they're paying you for, and it's not enough. I'm not the only one going to be looking for this, Jax. Why? What is it? Alright, what does Cade know? Does he actually know it's kyber crystals? I'm thinking yes. So I'm thinking nearly certain that Cade knows it's kyber crystals. Yes, factor is 6. That is a 78 on a 6. 90 would do it. So yes, absolutely. Cade knows it's kyber crystals. He goes, they're hot, man. They're hot, Jax. They're really hot. You know what a kyber crystal is? Does Jax know? It's been several years since the Jedi were a thing. Not everybody would have known what a kyber crystal is. I'm thinking it's very unlikely Jax has a clue what a kyber crystal is. So let's do that little roll there. 35. No, does he know? Yeah. Jax has heard of what kyber crystals are. He goes, kyber crystals. Isn't that the base for a lightsaber? It's the little power crystal they use. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm carrying. That's what's in that box. Yeah. Aren't those things outlawed under the Empire? Yeah. You're right, I'm not being paid enough for this job. 7,000 credits is not enough to deliver that. Vex and I are going to have a little talk about this later. He kind of swindled me a little bit. You know what the value is on these things? Does Cade know what the value is? Let's ask Mythic again. So I'm going to say, does he know what the value is? Well, he attacked Jax. He paid off a couple of kids to steal the box while they were fighting. Yeah, I'm thinking it's certain he knows what the value is. 70, yes, absolutely, because a 95 or less would say yes. So yeah, absolutely, Cade is completely familiar with how much those are worth. Yeah, they're worth about 20,000 collected credits, my friend. Don't call me your friend. We're just doing this, and then you can go your way and I'll go mine. And if I ever see you again, I'll shoot first. No, look. You won the fight fair and square, all right? How about we get the crystals? Maybe you need a little help. No, I don't think so, Cade. I'm not putting a blaster in your hand while you're around me again. Look, Jax, I told you. Others are going to be looking for this thing. We go back. You talk to your seller here. Tell him you want more. Show him where I shot you. Don't tempt me to blast you, man. Cade, do not tempt me to blast you. I will shoot you down right here. Yeah, you're not going to shoot anything until you got those crystals. But alright. But look. I'm just saying it would make some sense. I can watch your back. Alright. Does Jax like this idea? I don't think Jax is very hesitant about this whatsoever. But he realizes, yeah, he may have bitten off way more than he can chew, and he can't really trust Cade. But he might need somebody to watch his back. Or maybe he needs someone to kind of act as a patsy out there. Someone as a target. That would make sense. All right, I'll think about it. Let's get this. Let's get my cargo first, and then we can talk. Yeah. All right. All right. So they continue wandering through the streets of Hutta Town. Eventually, they come to the coffee shop, and you can there's big big picture windows kind of in the kind of looking out onto the street. They're kind of dirty. There's some graffiti on the sides of the walls. Someone's even graffitied a little bit of the panes of glass, and you can see. Yeah, there's several people in there. Some just kind of leaning over, drinking their coffee or Jawa juice. There's others chatting, but it's and sitting in kind of a booth right by the door near the window. Yeah, there's two kids, maybe about 12 years old a piece, and they're kind of looking out the window. They're not exactly not exactly kind of the types that are inconspicuous the way they're acting. And when they see they see Marlowe approaching, you can kind of see Jack sees that they kind of perk up a little bit, and then they see Jack's behind Cade. And all right, so are these kids gonna bolt? This could be a problem. I'm thinking I'm just gonna leave this directly to the fates and call this 50-50. Are these kids gonna run for it? Now they're not. They may not run with the box, like that's another problem. But because if they're gonna get out of there, they're thinking they're in trouble. They're gonna get shot. So, are they gonna run? 95. 95 is a no. They're not gonna run. So instead, those kids are going to stay put. You can kind of see the blood kind of wash out of their faces a little bit. They kind of pale as Cade comes in the front door, pushing the door open. There's this little doo-doo, and Jack's right behind them. And Jax goes, "Sit." And Cade kind of turns to them, and they look up, going, Are we okay?" And Cade goes, "Don't worry, boys. He's not going to do anything, but he wants his cargo." He paid us to do it, mister. We wouldn't have done it. He gave us 50 credits each. Jax looks down again, keeping his hand on the butt of the blaster. Says, "Whatever he paid you, you can keep. I just want my cargo." "Where is it?" It's under the table, mister. It's under the table. You're not gonna shoot us, are you?" "No, I'm not gonna shoot you. Just Cade, sit." Cade kind of glares at him. "All right." And he squeezes into the booth. There's one kid on one side, one on the other, and he kind of squeezes in with his back to the door, like the first seat available there. Sit. "All right, kick it out. Slide it out, Cade." Cade kind of looks under. "Yeah, all right." He puts his foot kind of in there. And he slides the foot locker out. And now it's kind of on the floor in the cafe. Jax looks down at it. "All right. You two. Whatever we paid you, consider it a job well done. You did what you were supposed to do. I don't want to see either of you again. Cade, I don't need your help." "Come on, Jax. It's a good business opportunity. Yeah, for who? For me? For you? Not maybe for you, not for me. I'm not trusting you anywhere near me. I'm telling you again, if I see you again, I'm just assuming I'm going to have to shoot you." "Yeah, all right." So wait a minute. Either of you boys armed? They look at, "No, sir. No, mister. No, we don't have any guns. We don't have any blasters. Knives, anything?" one of them pulls out like a little blade about like this long or whatever. Just this. Yeah, you can put that back. All right, I'm gonna pick this box up. I'm gonna walk out of here. You, and especially you, Cade. I want you to put your hands on that table and count to 500. Better make it 1,000. I don't want to see I don't want to see any of the three of you in the streets. Cade, remember what I told you. If I see you coming, I'm gonna have to assume I've got to shoot you. Cade puts his hands on the table. Yeah, I got it. I told you I'm not going to be the only one coming for you. If I know what's in there, others know. Yeah, I heard you. And Jax bends down and picks up that crate again. Kind of backs towards the door. Start counting. 1, 2. And as they hit about 4, Jax is out the front door with the crate. All right, that's okay. So we're going to put here, Jax retrieves the stolen cargo from 2 12-year-old boys that Cade hired. Yeah. Okay, and that's going to be the end of that scene, I think, here. So, scene 5 ends up with as an interrupt scene. We're going to call it. I'm just going to call it cargo retrieval. Oops, cargo retrieval, and then we're going to kind of take the basics here. We're going to kind of just shift. Actually, we call it the driftwood, so let's just kind of do this. And scene 6 is going to be returning, hopefully, to where we were. Chaos factor. So I don't know. Chaos factor go up or down there, because it was at 6. Let's make sure I record that here. So let's do this. Chaos factor at 6. Chaos factor. So he wasn't in control of that scene at the beginning. Absolutely not. But Jax definitely kind of took control of it. So I think I'm going to lower the chaos factor. I think we need to put that down to 5 here. I think that makes sense. So we're going to go into the next scene. Chaos Destiny, Chaos Factor of 5. Alright, so let's kind of pop back to our adventure here. Streets of Hudded Town for Cade's little hirelings. Cade guides Jax to a coffee shop where Jax retrieves his cargo. And we're going to drop that Chaos Factor back down to 5. And now we're going to try to get back to the driftwood. Kind of tired of interrupts, so I'm just going to actually move this along a little bit to scene 6. Scene 6 back on the driftwood. Now we actually are going to do kind of what we were suggesting here. Or I'm going to do what I was suggesting here. So back on the driftwood, Jack's going to walks up the I was going to call it gangplank, but that's not quite right. You know what I mean, though. Walks up into the cargo bay of his YT 1300. I think with this we can return here, and we could, bring ourselves over to the driftwood here. So I'm not going to bother moving anything, but we got the main cargo hold kind of down through. So we got cargo holds here. This would be the entryway here into the main corridor here. So Jax returns, partly limping his way in there. But after all of this, after nearly getting killed, after having to retrieve his cargo once again there from those two kids, with Cade being held pretty much at gunpoint, Jax finally returns to his ship and finds Cade. Let's just roll a die. Where the hell's K? We got 12 areas. 5. That makes sense. Finds K in the kind of just outside the cockpit up here. So let's just kind of move these two here. Finds K just outside the cockpit. And K looks up at him and starts spouting off something in Ewok and kind of pointing towards his pointing towards his the blaster wound there, that she can tell just his jacket's kind of been damaged, and he's looking worse for wear, and he goes, yeah, I know, but I got the cargo, which I believe he probably would have stowed. So he would have stowed the cargo. So let's just do it this way. We'll put the Kyber crystal cargo right in there. Put it in the cargo hold. He hasn't even bothered to really hide it yet, but he'll have smuggling areas kind of throughout this ship. He just kind of put it in there. Alright. So what do we have here? Do we have a med bay? We don't really have a med bay in a YT-1300. I'm thinking the refresher is probably the place that would likely, if they're going to stash supplies somewhere for I'm thinking if they're going to stash supplies somewhere for like med packs and such, it's probably in the refresher. I'm guessing that kind of means bathroom, and based on the looks of it, I think that's a toilet right there. So yeah, Jax kind of quickly explains to Kay, yeah, look, I got the cargo. It's all good. Look, I'm hurt. I need a stim pack. All right, I'm not entirely sure how stim packs work here. So what we're going to kind of do is just kind of look them up here in the book. Stim packs 176, 177. Alright, stim packs. Sorry, I'm still wrong. There we go. Stim packs are auto-ejection tubes. Yeah, filled with medicine, Bacta, and painkillers. Cool, okay. Takes a maneuver for a character to inject a stim pack in himself or another. Stim packs are one-use items and automatically heal 5 wounds. That's alright. Characters can use stim packs more than once, but each use heals 1 less wound. Alright, so basically it's kind of like all or nothing, or it's like all or part. So, I mean, I can use the whole stim pack to heal 5 wounds, or not at all kind of thing, I believe. That's what we're talking about. Oh, no, okay, can use stim packs more than once, but each use heals 1 less wound. Oh, no, I get it. So I can use multiple stim packs to continue healing wounds. So if I use 1 stim pack, it'll heal 5, but the next one's only going to heal 4. Yeah, I got it. Which is cool. I've got 2 stim packs. Alright. Back on the driftwood cargo stowed in holding bay. Jax uses 2 stim packs to heal himself. 9 wounds, basically. So, Jax has got equipment back here. We're gonna reduce. He's gonna buy more, guaranteed. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Uses 2 stim packs up. Takes a stim pack. Basically, Yeah, takes his first stim pack, stabs it kind of directly into the wound. Kind of pulls his jacket back and just stabs it right into the wound. Right there. Plunges it down, and it does much better. It's feeling pretty good there. So we're going to kind of. No, sorry, it's a -9 to stim packs. So there we go. Eventually I'll probably clear the wounds log here because we're not going to need to know all the previous battles. But once he's fully healed, we'll clear that up. So yeah, okay, cool. So right now he's doing a lot better. His wounds just start to kind of heal. Yeah, it doesn't do anything about the hole in his shirt or his jacket, but he's feeling a lot better. Alright. We need to set course for Tatooine and get off this rock. First, though, he owes some money for his time here. What did we have this figured out at? Need to grab something here. My trusty little operational cost for Edge of the Empire. Sorry, one of these days I'll get a green screen or something. So our operational costs here are going to be, he's got exactly one day. All this happened on like the same day here. So what he needs is, did I record this somewhere? So let's see if I recorded this somewhere. What do we got here? Black Nova. So 5 credits, Lauren. Somewhere along the way, I thought I recorded. Oh, sorry, it's a grade 3 spaceport. There we go. To take off, Jax is going to then owe 50 credits for his docking fee. Okay. And shortly thereafter, he and Kay are taking off into space. Sorry, I'm going to kind of pop back into the video here. So shortly after that, Jax and Kay made sure to pay their 50 credits. I said, yeah, paid their 50 credits for their stay in their docking bay for the day. Jax is now thinking he is not being paid enough for this job, but it is a job, and he doesn't really want to kind of end up on Vex's bad side, right? Vex is powerful enough on Nar Shaddaa and in Hutatan especially. He'll have future work. If he gets this done, he can discuss the issue later. Of just how dangerous this was, and maybe kind of come to an agreement with Vex that maybe Jax is owed a little bit more money for successfully delivering this. Now we need to we're not going to get ahead of ourselves here because he has not successfully delivered anything yet. We're going to kind of pop back into here. We're going to come back into our start page here, which I do love using this map here. So once again, we kind of got our current location of Nar Shaddaa. However, we are now leaving Nar Shaddaa. Finally, this is episode 4. We're finally getting off Nar Shaddaa with a job, with cargo, and we got to head towards Tatooine. So we kind of go take a look over here. Where's our ruler in here? Things have changed a little bit. So over here, Tatooine is over this way. Don't worry about the feet. That's not going to matter at all because that's not what we're dealing with. So basically, we're dealing with going from hut space to Tatooine, and Tatooine is in the Outer Rim. Is that correct? Yes, Tatooine is just inside the Outer Rim. So we're going to kind of take a look. He's going to start setting up his astrogation here. We're going to need it. Oops, sorry. Wrong thing. Sorry, I wanted to bring up the Zoom call again briefly, kind of while we're doing this. So, again, back to operational costs, I believe we are. Am I keeping track of... I think I am keeping track of... somewhere, I thought I was keeping track of fuel cells. I'll look that up between sessions, though. Oh, I think I know where it is. I think it might be here in the driftwood. Do we have the kind of fuel we need? So where are our fuel cells? We got consumables for 2 months. We got whatever. Weapons, attachments, fuel cells. Here we go. So currently we got... the YT-1300, the driftwood itself, holds has 50 fuel cells. So far we've spent 10 of them. Now I kind of like the whole kind of like using the operational cost because it breaks down consumables for fuel. And in fact, I'm just going to kind of pop out here. We're going to kind of do this a little bit live in here. So the way it works, we got 0.5 fuel cells for per takeoff or landing, and reaching jump distance. Okay, so we're just going to kind of put that in there. 1 per hyperspace jump. That's just for jumping to light speed, right? Jumping to hyperspace. For every 6 hours in hyperspace, we're going to have another one. So I need to figure out kind of what our astrogation is here. So I'm going to kind of go back to the Edge of the Empire book. I might as well kind of quickly pop back to Zoom here. You can see, I don't know, my forehead while I'm looking things. So astrogation is going to be on... Where is astrogation? Astrogation skill is on 104. I don't know whether that's going to kind of explain how we determine our jumps or not, but we're going to start there. I think there might be another section we need to look at here. So 6 and 104 astrogation. So difficulty of a hyperspace jump is based upon the area being targeted. So travel to a nearby system along with a well-established route is generally an easy check. Difficulty increases based on the accuracy of navigational information and other factors. 246 will give us hyperspace travel itself. So we're going to kind of flip over to page 246. Hyperspace travel. I'm going to make a little, I'm just going to kind of make a little bookmark, temporary bookmark, so we can come right back to the astrogation stuff there. So, because we're going to need it. Nar Shaddaa is not on a main route. It really isn't. Hut space itself is not on a main route. So, we're going to be dealing with this. So, how do we deal with... There was something. Within a sector, here we go. So hyperspace travel times within a sector. No. Within a region. I'm going to say no. Between regions. We're going to... It's not really within a region, although, yeah, because HUD space is going to be different technically than the Outer Rim. I'm going to call it between regions, so 3 days to 1 week. We're probably not going to be using a main hyperspace route here. We're going to try to cut straight across here, kind of not using a typical hyperspace routes. Ship's not damaged, outdated, corrupted. So I think I'm just dealing with, under ideal conditions, it's an easy astrogation check. However, conditions are rarely ideal for those living on the fringes of the galaxy. Going to make some modifications then. So, damaged or missing astromech droid or nav computer, note we're good. Quick calculations or entry into hyperspace under duress. That's not exactly true here. I'm going to kind of go with the outdated, corrupt, or counterfeit navigation charts or navigcomputer data. It's not really corrupt, but I'm going to suggest that our navigation is not going to be ideal because we're not planning on using kind of any of the standard trade routes. Going from Hutt Space to Tatooine is probably not a standard route, although it could be. And we're going to have to take some of these kind of minor routes through kind of the edge of the known galaxy kind of thing, like, you know, where it's not quite into wild space, but it's definitely the outer rim. So I'm thinking we're looking at maybe, I'm going to say a week. I'm going to say a week's travel. Okay, just because it's going to be we're going to be kind of bouncing through. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. We're going to kind of be bouncing through some of these other areas, and we're going to kind of come out and around through kind of through Gamor, and through, you know, kind of passing through the Arcanus sector on our way to, you know, on our kind of heading towards Tatooine here. So we're going to kind of try to keep a low profile. So I'm going to say 1 week here, and so what's Jax's astrogation? Does he suck? Did I make him decent at it? Nah, it's not exactly his strength here. So he's going to have 2 dice, and I'm going to give him 2 purple dice. I am going to have Jax take a lot of extra time because he knows he's got to plot this. He knows he's got to plot this well. So I'm going to oops. Call this 1 week travel time. Jax spends 1 light for an upgrade die. So we're going to remove one of those green dice and replace it with a yellow die. 2 purples due to the it not being a main trade route and taking the long way around. That's kind of what we're looking on. I'm going to say each success, if he gets a success here, so I'm going to say each success on these dice here is going to reduce his time by a day. Okay. So let me just take a quick look here to see what it says about astrogation. The astrogation roll. So the difficulty is based on the area being targeted and the distance being traveled. Nearby system along well-established trade route. That's an easy check. That doesn't really apply too much of the outer rim, especially if you're kind of cutting corners like Jax is about to do here. So additional successes beyond those required to calculate a hyperspace jump may be used to better target the location. With a single net success reaches the target system without incident, extras might place the character's vessel directly into orbit around the target planet. Alternatively, characters may use additional to reduce the time spent. So that's what I'm going to say is it's a week in hyperspace. So a week in hyperspace. What do we got there? Let me do a quick calculation here. 7 days, 24 hours divided by 6. He's going to burn through potentially 28 units of fuel cells. He's got 40 that are currently unspent. So it's not a ton, but if he gets lost somewhere, he could be in big trouble. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I saw that happen in my another campaign where they were burning through fuel cells. They had plenty. They had thought to stock up on extra fuel cells, but some really crappy astrogation rolls, put them way off course a couple of times. But this time, Jax is taking his time. That's what I'm saying. The upgraded die is coming from. So enough delaying the inevitable. Roll the dice. All right, so we got 2 failures. Sorry, I should use the proper terms here. 2 threats. Sorry, 2 threats, not failures. What in the hell? No successes whatsoever. 2 failures and 3 advantage. So that's going to actually kind of round out to 1 advantage. So what happens if we fail? Alright, so the advantage can reduce the travel time. But we still don't have a success. Alright. It's a failure. It's a failure, but with one advantage. So we can reduce the travel time by 1 day, but we're not going to necessarily end up where we're supposed to be. And that's something we're going to have to figure out for next time, I think. Actually, yeah, so I'll make a little note to self here, find out what happens with no successes and 1 advantage on the astrogation roll. And yeah, with that then, we're just going to kind of do a little bit of sheet updating here, because we're going to slip over to our XP log. How much time are we in here? We're in a little over an hour, so I'm going to give myself 4. For episode 4, we should have 12 now. Alright, so that's kind of where we're going to leave things here. That's, wow, the resolution's really bad. We're going to kind of blow that up, isn't it? We're just going to kind of drop that right back down again. So there we go. That's where we're going to kind of leave things for Edge of the Empire this time. We'll get back next time to find out what happens with that astrogation roll and where in the galaxy do Jax and Kay end up. Take it easy. If you are tuning in, thank you for watching, especially all the way to the end, seeing as this is well over an hour of video. And may the Force be with you.